you a question. When have black men not been held accountable?
The same amount of time that black women have also been held accountable. The same amount of time.
Ma'am, when have black men not been held accountable?
Probably since they were born to black mothers who call them their sons, even if they didn't give birth to them.
Ma'am, that question, that response, what year, what body of years have black men not been held accountable?
So that's a loaded question.
It's not a loaded question. We've always been held accountable. There's not any time in America that black men have not been held accountable, even for stuff we didn't do. Like I just sat up here and pointed out that we've been held accountable for being the most violent men in America, and that's just not true. We're not. So we get a reputation for quiet, listen, you want a question answered, I'm gonna answer. We get held responsible for things we didn't do. We get told we the most violent men in the world, in America, and it turns out it's white men. We get told we're horrible dads and turn out we're the best dads. So we get held accountable for things even when we didn't do it. You understand that, Ronnie Sides? So when you say black men have not been held accountable, or that's just not true. Everybody holds black men accountable. We occupy about, in any given numbers, between 19 cities in America, we have more than 100,000 people. There's another 8 cities that we have between 25,000 and 100,000 people. Yet we're just a small population. Yet we're the face of all trouble. We're the face of everything wrong in America, and we're only in about 27 cities. We get held accountable for everything. We're the drug dealers, even though we don't fly it over here, we don't float it over here, we don't make the most money off of it, we don't do any. We get held for everything wrong with this country.
So do you hold the drug dealers accountable?
Donald Trump almost got elected, and instead of blaming the white women that sided with you black women, you wanted to blame black men. We get held accountable for everything. That has nothing to do with us.
Are you talking to me in particular? I definitely did not hold
ma'am. That's what I'm doing, ma'am. Your question is answered. We always get held accountable. You lovely ladies never get held accountable. That's not me saying that. That's Shahrazad Ali saying that there was never a time when black women have had their feet held to the fire for the things that they've done. That's it. And we still haven't done it. But let me tell you something. What's going to happen? You lovely ladies, you're welcome to divest, do whatever you want to do.
Mic check on
but
y'all.
See those men that you're going to go to, those cultures that you're going to.
Mic check to the people on my end. Drop a 1 if you can hear me.
Result with those men that you get with us, they're going to be saying the same things about you that black men are saying about you. Because for the most part, men are pretty much the same, and they want pretty much the same things. And so you're going to go over there, you're going to get the same reputation. And it's going, and because you're going in mass numbers, and I wish you well. I want you to have peace. I want you to be loved. I want you to find somebody who cares about you and loves you. But there's still there is no geographical solution for an emotional problem. And so when you go over there, you're gonna get the same results. And then I promise you this, you're gonna come back and try to blame black men. Y'all should have told us, y'all should have warned us, y'all should have protected us. And you're gonna try and hold us accountable for that. But it's not gonna be anything to come back to. Because in 20 or 30 years, what you know is the black community is gonna be gone. What you know is the black church is gonna be neutralized. You're gonna have people coming up from all these other places who are Hispanic. They might be black, but they not identifying as black men. It's just gonna be a different time, and it's gonna be too late. But anyway, thank you so much, Ronnie Size. You've been a great participant here.
Nice.
I want to get some more people in here. God bless you. I appreciate you. Let's go to Carlton Banks. Carlton, how you doing? I know, Lord Jesus. Whew, this has been.
What's happening, brother? Can you hear me good?
Yeah, we 4 hours in and almost. Carlton, I know you're regular here, man, but I wanted to get you in. If you guys appreciate what I'm doing, make sure you contribute to the Super Chat, the Cash App, and the PayPal. Hit the #1 button, and also hit the thumbs up button. Carlton, how you doing, brother?
What's happening, brother? Can you hear me good?
I can hear you fine, sir. Please, what would you like to add to the conversation?
I just wanted to point. Yesterday I was actually gonna push back just a tad on you.
On what?
But on the fact that, well, actually, let me just correct it, because today you actually covered what I was going to push back on. I'm gonna go ahead and mention this. Each and every time we have these conversations where we hold these black women's feet to the fire, here comes white supremacy. Here comes it's white man's fault. I mean, it just never ends. It's always the blame is going to be shifted every time. Now let me just say, my mother married 2 white men. And they were good men. They treated me well when I was growing up. They were respectable men. I respected them. They respected me. But and she never not once stopped loving her black brothers. I'd ask her sometimes, "Hey, mama, there's a fight. Come over to the house and watch this fight with me." And her response always was the same thing: "I cannot stand to see 2 black men beat up each other." That was my mother. Now, I didn't even say if it was a black man fighting or whatever. I didn't know. That was always her response. She always loved her people. She just chose to be with who she chose to be with. That's not what we see today. I just explained to my...
I respect that, because she's not disparaging us and making our lives hard about saying, they ain't nothing. They need to be shot. They thugs, abort black babies, blackmail. But you see what I'm saying? Go in peace. Is that what they say? Go in peace, my brother. You see what I'm saying? Go live and enjoy. If you want a white man, a Hispanic man, an Asian man, ladies, if you want to go get you another lady, I don't give a damn what you do. Just don't disrespect us and disparage our reputations in the community, because we getting shot for that. See, no matter what do black men say? Let me get the black, when they say, "Oh, well, black men talk," that's what the lady was trying to say. Black men talk about black women too. Yeah, but we don't call y'all the most violent women in America. We don't say that. We say you got an attitude.
No.
We say you're shaking your booty. That's not dangerous and deadly. See, when you say these are the most violent men in America, then the police these are the most, and I'm pulling up on one right now. Well, let me get my pistol out. And that's why we're getting shot and killed and over incarcerated. There's a presumption that we're guilty of something even when we're innocent, even our children. You understand what I'm saying, Carl? You see the whole point. There's a difference between me complaining about a neck rolling black American woman who's standing on top of the table twerking, and a woman who's saying that this is the face of domestic violence. These guys are the most violent men in America. They're dangerous. They need to be locked up. And we know that's not true based on these stats.
That's it.
You see what I'm saying? That's dangerous. That's the difference between what black men say about black American women when we complain and what they say about us. But see, now what's happening, and you guys have noticed then, there's been a shift. And I told you guys this a few weeks ago, that there's been an uptick in our lovely ladies in their arrest record. Black women are the #1 growing group of people being incarcerated because they're becoming more and more violent. That goes along with being more masculinized and having to deal with life. You no longer are you under a covering of a man or the covering of a black community. You out there on your own. You got to fend for yourself. You're stressed out. You're on medication. It's something you got to deal with. Okay? But it's happening. And so you going over there to those white men, they're going to start saying the same thing about you lovely ladies that we've been saying about you. And see, they're not going to hold back because they don't love you like that. You're not part of that. They're not going to keep your family secrets. They're going to tell it. Period. But anyway, Carlton, go ahead, brother, and then we're gonna go to essential entities. One of my favorite folks. Go ahead.
See, I've noticed. I'm looking at the back chat, and I see what essential entities is saying. I've noticed that black women have a level of code that we don't have as black men. And what I mean by that is if Pookie and Ray do something, when Tyrone does something, Carlton and Cornelius, we don't see that. We don't see ourselves in those people. We separate.
Familiar with the red pill movement and all that?
Yes.
Okay, so a lot of you brothers, I want you to listen carefully to this. In my books, Rules to Live By, How to Maintain Peace of Mind and Happiness, I talked about it as follows. I said basically women support each other women always support each other except when they don't. Okay. Now that was me explaining that concept 12 years ago in 2010. The red pill community are the brothers who, and you should listen to these brothers. These brothers are giving you good information. it's different terminology than I would use, and it's different terminology than you would hear under the tree sitting around old black men talking to you. But basically, what that means is you're explaining female-owned group preference. That's called female-owned group preference. What that means is women tend to side with each other. They have a herd mentality. They stick with each other even when they're wrong. You see what I'm saying? It's called female-owned group preference. And now what I did was I said women stick together. Women always stick together except when they don't. You see? And that basically says, and they usually turn on each other when their own self-interest is involved. You can read it in my books. You guys should get the books, Rules to Live By, How to Maintain Peace of Mind and Happiness in a Conflicted World. You can email me at spurlingdennis@gmail.com to get that. In addition, in the good books, I have some guys in here who are reading the books, and they're like, wow, books been out for like 5 or 6 years. They're really just starting to get hot now. I don't know why, but there's been an uptick of purchases of my books online at Amazon, and folks have been sending me emails. But in addition to that, if you'd like to do a private conference and have a conversation with me about, different stuff, a lot of people call me and ask me about business issues and banking and all. I'll be more than happy to talk. People don't ask me about relationships. They ask me how to hide their money from their wives and girlfriends, and they talk about when they're going to get married and how they want to have a bank account overseas. And so what I typically do is I'll plug them in with different people after I hear them. And then, I kind of pave the way. I'll, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm
Vanguard.
I'm Overwatch. You understand? I'll clear the way for them, make sure nobody comes out in the alley on them. You see what I'm saying? Those of you guys in the military understand what I'm talking about. You need a lawyer? Okay, I got a lady in Colombia, a guy in Dominican Republic, somebody over here in Europe. You want to in France, England, you want to open a bank account. That's kind of how I work. You understand? So if you'd like to do a conversation, 1 hour conversation, I charge about an hour. Hit me up at spurlingdennis@gmail.com, and we could do that. It's only $1,000 an hour. If you ain't got $1,000, then you don't need me. You need to. You're not ready yet. You know what I'm saying? This is the graduate class. But anyway, Carlton, go ahead, and then we're gonna go to my man, Essential Entities. And this is something I want you guys. This is homework, fellas. This is Shahrazad Ali on how feminism destroyed the U.S. black family. So again, I'm taking all my talking points from Shahrazad Ali, and I'm sure she don't mind. You understand what I'm saying? So y'all make sure that's some homework for you, brothers. We might talk about it tomorrow. But anyway, go ahead, Carlton, then we're gonna go to Essential Entities.
You're a lawyer.
Yeah, I was
Yeah, I just don't see how you're a lawyer, but you're taking your arguments from somebody else. Damn.
These two groups of people. And so I've never seen this outside of the black woman and the white man. I've never
salutes though to the brother.
I've had a case of where the man just ruthlessly beat her, and she put up with it and protected him to the point to where the children got taken. And so I think what we're going to have to look at and what they're going to have to consider is the fact that regardless of where they go, just like O'Shea said, wherever you go, there you are. And so if you're choosing the worst elements in black community and then talking about them and blaming all black men because you choose the worst elements, and then you go over to the white population, what are you doing over there? Who are you getting in the white population? It's time. But see what's going to happen if we don't point this out. Then what's going to happen? The next thing is we're going to hear some more of that the black woman is so unprotected thing. Here's the thing: you can't be protected from yourself. You're making your own decisions on who you mate with. Just look at who has the children and look who don't have the children. We can't blame all these black men for the actions of the few.
Yeah, and the other thing I want you to explain, like if you're a horrible person, you're probably going to attract a horrible person because you attract what you like. Work on yourself. You want to attract better people. You want to have relationships, better relationships. Work on yourself. Become the best person you can be. I'm gonna give y'all a bit of advice, and then we're gonna go to Essential Entities. My ass got out my divorce in 2010. I knew goddamn well I wasn't perfect, so I've spent the past 11 years working on myself, becoming the best person I can be, the best human being that I can be. I've learned to become a lot more patient, a lot more tolerant, a lot more understanding, a lot less self-centered. And I'm not saying that my ex-wife is perfect, but I'm not saying that at all. And I'm sure she'll agree that I'm not perfect. But the bottom line is work on yourself and you'll attract a better caliber of human being because you'll become a better human being. And here's the thing, when you become a better human being, there's less foolishness that you'll tolerate. You understand what I'm saying? You'll tolerate less because you're like, I know who I am. I know what I deserve. I don't want to be with that person. You know, because that I understand that behavior and I'm not attracted to that. But if you're old hog, you're gonna wallow with hogs. You see what I'm saying? You're a filthy old hog with pus coming out the back of your heel. That's who you are. You toxic. You hook up with an old toxic person. You toxic. So now you trying to take your toxic hoggish self on over there to them white folks. After you, if you get a good one, he gonna be like, this is too toxic. But more likely than not, you're gonna get you a toxic one. He just gonna have, instead of having you a black hog, you're gonna have you a white hog to wallow with. You understand what I'm saying? Because you're gonna attract who you are. So you can't run from yourself. I'm saying. But anyway, Carlton, thank you so much. Essential Entities, man, you've been patiently waiting. Thank you so much, sir. Appreciate you. How you doing today? Hello? Uh-oh. Come on in, brother.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, what are your thoughts, sir?
It's always good to see constructive and positive conversation going on amongst men.
Mm-hmm.
The young lady that came in with her opinions and stuff like that, obviously she hasn't done her due diligence in researching some of the facts and
that's
a
all
lot
right.
of stuff that happens. But Dennis, what I wanted to say was,
That's all right.
you know, we as men, this whole process, and I'm hoping the guys is listening. I just want these guys to understand that I'm like kind of grandfathered in, right? Like I've been in here for a while. I've been listening a lot, and I've been listening to a lot of the brothers, and mainly intelligent brothers who walk that life sometimes from both sides of the perspectives, and it's a lot of insight here, gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
So when sometimes I come in these spaces and I just be quiet and I listen, and that process of listening, like that brother you was just speaking to, he had a quorum with you initially, but as he listened, it resolved itself.
Yeah.
And these are the examples that I experienced myself.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, it helps us deal with combating the lack of accountability, the evidence of irresponsibility. It breeds frustration in us, but sometimes we gotta let the professionals handle it, right? Sometimes, like when we let gentlemen like you, professionals, guys who went to school, who had that direction infrastructure and had that those explanations how to navigate this chaos, it's good for us because it helps us resolve a lot of frustration, and it helps us actually see with clear eyes that, all right, it is not us, right? You say it all the time, Dennis. Appreciate you for that. You say, oh, it's not you, man. I assure you, because you don't have to be here, Dennis.
No.
And I tell a lot of my guys who I send your videos to, he don't have to do this. He's cool. He's doing this for the best interest of his future. He's doing this in the best interest of his DNA.
Amen.
So that shows an excellent level of maturity for you. And that's why I show you the level of respect I do.
Thank you, brother. And I want to make sure you guys know Essential Entities. He's been here since we started, and he has a page. He has a video up called Agent of Chaos, Creating the Breeding Mental Illness. I want you guys to check it out. The link to his page in this video is right here. I just subscribed. I want you guys to check the brother out. I want you to listen to it with an open ear and comment and enjoy. You see what I'm saying? And make sure you show your appreciation. I know this brother personally. I know him from YouTube and we talk. I want you guys to hear his story because his story is a lot like mine. It's a lot like yours. And the more of us that begin to speak, the more of us to get up the courage and begin to speak, the more change will happen. You see, so just go ahead and enjoy that conversation that he's having there, man. Agent of chaos, creating and bringing mental illness. That sounds good.
I really appreciate it. I did not expect that, gentleman, and I'll show you.
He didn't. I ain't tell him I was gonna do it.
I swear, I did not expect this, gentleman, and that's a big honor to receive from Dennis.
No
but a lot of this stuff, we spoke behind the scenes and off record.
Yes,
to
sir.
try to, he's sincere, gentlemen. What I want to say to all of you guys listening and paying close attention to what this good man is doing. I met this good man, and I'm gonna keep it honest. I met this good man through Kevin Samuels, and Kevin Samuels speak highly. He has high regards for Dennis, and I said, okay, well, let me reach out to the brother. He said, no, this guy's a professional. And he has his boots on the ground. It's very important that gentlemen understand the importance and the clarity of having boots on the ground. So he's a real man, gentlemen, and he has the true, sincere interest of our reputation.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that, man. He never folded once, never. Like, he gave me the best advice I can. I executed his instruction, and it's starting to give me some real good results. And thank you, Dennis. I really didn't know you was going to do that. I did not know you was going to do that.
All wisdom comes from the Most High, man. So all praises to the Most High, God. Thank you so much. I'm humbled, but all praises go to God, man. And so thank you. But
Yes, sir.
Best thing you can do for me is keep up with the word and keep studying and create that connection with the Most High. We'll deal with that on the Sunday sermon, but man, keep up the good work, man. I want to see you, I want to see you win. I want to see you brothers win. Like, this is our team. You see what I mean? I want to see our team win. I mean, like, I have sons. I love my sons. You understand? I want to see our team win. You see what I'm saying? And so my interest in seeing you brothers win is because you on my team. And it's really just that simple. My sole interest in seeing black men do well is that that's more black men out there that my sons can look up to. And so you won't be out there on your own as a black man. You understand what I'm saying? There'll be other winners out there, other black men you can stand next to shoulder and shoulder and be strong with. So that's my thing, man. And so anybody who's disparaging our reputation and talking bad about us, and we taking 2 steps forward and they sending us 2 steps back, that's something we got to deal with. And I know you brothers love you. You love your mom. You love your black sisters and aunties. Those are the ones you got to talk to first. Baby, why you on the internet talking bad about my dad again? That's another black man. Why, sister? Why you on the internet talking bad about your baby daddy again? You slept with him. You see what I'm saying? Keep that to yourself. Even if it's bad, so what? Just stop sharing all that information. You making all of us look bad. Those are the people I want y'all to talk to. These so-called divestors on the internet, you ain't gonna never see them. They in it for the money. Don't get it twisted. They doing this because it gins up this extremism gins up profit for them. They get women to tune in. Yeah, girl. They there for the spectacle of it. They doing it for the money. They don't even mean that. You understand what I'm saying? But it's just like the mass media. They don't even mean that. They doing it because they know that's what is required to get people to watch. Look at half of these rappers out here raised in white neighborhoods, the homecoming king. You see what I'm talking about? They played football, went to college, and then get on the internet and talk about how gangster they were. You know what I'm saying? With their white girlfriend and their Hispanic baby mama. You see what I'm saying? That's what they just selling you a dream. I don't believe nothing these swirlers say.
Can I say something?
Let me finish, bro. I don't believe nothing that they say. They're doing it for profit, bro. They're doing it because they want to get paid. It's a spectacle. YouTube is the new Gloob tube. YouTube is the new television screen. You understand what I'm saying? And they're doing it for profit. What you need to do is talk to your mama, talk to your daughters, talk to your grandma, check your aunties, tell them to cut it out. You see what I'm saying? That's what you black men need to do. Stop mama, stop talking about daddy. Auntie, Auntie Trinice, stop talking about Uncle Leon. You know what I'm saying? Keep that off the internet. You see what I mean? Stop doing all that. You know what I mean? You're making all of us look bad. Start checking them. Start at home first. You understand what I'm talking about? Start at home first. That's when you can be the most effective. Start with your own. Start with your daughters. She ended up dating some knucklehead. You told her not to date. I told you to leave that clown alone. Now get off the internet with it. You see what I'm saying? I don't nobody want to hear that. And keep your mouth. You heard that young lady here earlier. She's basing her experience on what she's seen in Illinois. Hell, it ain't even nobody in Illinois no more. Black folks don't live in Illinois like that. It's just a couple of us. Most black folks live down south. They don't even know. You see what I'm saying? We in Alabama, Mississippi, South Carolina, Texas, Arkansas. Illinois got a small group of black folks up there, comparatively speaking. You see what I'm saying? And she's basing her whole understanding of black folks on what's going on outside of Chicago in Illinois. And she just disparaging our reputation. Unfortunately, in this age that we live in, everybody has a voice. You see what I'm saying? And here's worse. And Essential Entities brought this up. He said educated people. Some of these dudes are educated and they stupid. I'm gonna tell you, I go to school with a lot of stupid people who have degrees, PhDs, master's degrees. They ain't live life. They might as well grow up in a box. You see what I'm saying? They don't have the life experience to talk to you, brothers. They don't have that life. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, I got a whole lot of life experience. Some good, some bad. But I managed to survive, and I'm willing to sit down and honestly tell you about my mistakes and my triumphs so you can benefit from that. But the bottom line is, man, look, we got to go ahead and wrap this up. I want to get the Essential Entities, Sanchez, Afro Patriarch, and JT. So, Essential Entities, man, what else you got to say? Then we're going to go to Sanchez.
Real quick, brother.
Man.
Yes, sir.
All I want to say is that to all our good brothers, and just like you came, you showed your face, you proved your case, and you got your receipts. That's it.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much, Essential Entities. Sanchez, man, you've been patiently waiting. I appreciate you, brother. I know you probably got something to say, so let's go ahead and hear it, man. What would you like to add to this conversation? You guys, please contribute to the Super Chat, the Cash App, and the PayPal. That would be greatly appreciated. Also, hit the number 1 button. Hit the W button if you feel like this podcast has been a win for black men. If you've learned something, hit a W. Put a W on in the Super Chat. Hell, matter of fact, put a W in the air. Okay, but go ahead and put the W in there right now if you feel like this has been a lesson. I hope we've dispelled some facts. Y'all got a chance to actually look at the FBI statistics that show that it ain't black men that's the most violent on paper. No, it's white dudes. And we've all known that. And you guys knew something wrong with that when people were telling it. But I think this is a W for us. And I hope you guys take this along with the references that I showed you guys and you use it in our defense. Again, this is about our reputation. You understand? That's what this is about. We live and die by our reputation. That's what this is about, our reputation. And you have to use these facts to defend our reputation because people are shooting black men based on the horrible reputation that our lovely ladies are participating in giving us. But anyway, Sanchez, go ahead, brother.
First of all, I want to say thank you, Dennis, for having me. I think it's an awesome thing. You having an unbiased platform allowing all people to come up. I also want to say that your music is excellent. And I want to just
cornbread.
yeah, it's got a mature vibe to it. I do music myself, but I just have some quick questions, real quick. I know you got to get out of here. I'm trying to bridge the gap between the brothers in the community that's dating out and our brothers who saying that they're only dating in. Because I've been in this space a while, and I've seen that topic has divided our brothers into two groups: swirlers and non-swirlers. And I don't see that in other races. Like, for example, a lot of the guys who don't want to unify with the so-called swirlers, they may say, well, because you dating out, it's hurting us. And there may be some truth to that. I'm not going to get into that. I was just going to ask you guys, my first question was, dating out, black men say that it hurts us when other black men date out. I don't hear other races of men saying that. For example, like if white men have swirlers, they still can achieve whatever they want. They swirlers won't stop them from accomplishing nothing. Like the guys that's dating out in China ain't stopping the rest of the Chinese brothers who dating it. Like they ain't saying, yo, you swirlers, man, you messing up and then like that. Now, I think you guys have a lot of legitimate truth to what you're saying. I just wanted to throw that out there because I've heard this come up before, and I thought it was an interesting sort of point. Go ahead.
Well, let me ask you a question. Did we have white folks thrown George Washington out?
No.
Have white folks thrown Thomas Jefferson out?
Not that I know of, no, sir.
Have white folks thrown any of the men who were presidents of the United States who had all these black children by these slave women? Have they thrown any of them out?
No, they haven't.
Okay. And those particular men, those are powerful, influential men, right?
Correct.
Okay. Do you know who Robert F. Smith is?
No, sir.
He's a black billionaire who donated $40 million to Morehouse College about 2 or 3 years ago. What color? You know what color his wife is?
What color is she?
White as snow.
Yeah.
Now he's a black man, and I'm gonna see if I can pull him up real quick. Him and his wife. He's donating money to the black community. He just started a program in New York that is focusing on black boys in New York. Do you think it's a good idea to throw him out because of his white wife if he's doing all this stuff for black men?
Not at all. Just you making a great point, sir.
Yeah.
Like Maya Angelou and Frederick Douglass, for sure.
Okay, so my whole point is this, man. I don't give relationship advice. I'm about power and influence. That's what I want you black men to have, power and influence. You understand what I mean? And if you date someone who helps enhance your power and influence, and then you're able to help the black community with that, run with it. You understand?
Facts.
Run with it. I don't have no problem with that. Matter of fact, I don't have a problem with anybody you date. You just stupid if you get with a woman that takes you down in any kind of way. I don't have a problem with these women and who they date. Like black women, they can date whoever they want to, man. I'm just, God bless you. You know, I used to tell people like this, man, you date who you want to date. As long as it keeps you off of the roof with a sniper rifle shooting at me, I don't get, in other words, as long as you happy, do it, run with it. You see what I'm saying? But just think about it. It sounds silly of us to push out our prominent, wealthy black men from the community because of who they decide to have sex with. You understand what I'm saying? Or who they decide to marry. That just, you pushing away your power base. You pushing away these wealthy men who are actually doing things for the black community. Because what? Because his wife is white or Hispanic or whatever the hell she is, African as opposed to African American, or West Indian as opposed to African American. Just think logically. Think about that. You see what I mean? So no, you keep that $40 million, man. Your wife is white, man. We don't want your $40 million. Take that back.
Yeah, that'll be ridiculous right there.
Yeah,
that's big facts.
Same thing if white folks said, yeah, we don't want that damn George Washington, that damn Thomas Jefferson, him and that Sally Hemings woman. He had some half black children. We don't want to claim him anymore as one of our founding fathers. No. Did that make sense?
Not at all.
Hell no, it don't make sense, man. So now you got to go to the second level. Who's coming up with that particular barrier? Who has the most to lose when rich black men who are influential marry out? Whose interest is it to keep them from marrying out?
Whose interest is it to keep
Whose
the black
interest?
Mm-hmm.
Whose interest is served by keeping wealthy black men from marrying anybody else but black American women?
I think it's a very honestly selfish, personal, self-serving interest, and I think it should be. For example, I think
you're a black man. You're a normal black man. You're not gonna marry no goddamn Robert F. Smith, are you? He's a dude. You're not gonna marry him.
Mm-hmm.
If he gets married to a white woman, who can't marry him? Black women can't marry him if he marries a white. Remember I told you that women are always on each other's side except when they're not. That female-owned group preference. But they also have divided themselves up into black and white and Hispanic and all that. You see what I'm saying? And so they got team sports going on. And so when a white woman and a black man get married, the white women win a point. And the more money he has, the more points they get. Do you know how much white women? Oh my! The fact that Barack Obama's mama was a white woman made white women say, "Yeah, well, you know, he's still one of us." You see what I'm saying? And they would bring that up every now and then. Now the fact that he went off and married a black woman are like, well, we got him back. You see what I'm saying? It's a competition they got going on. This whole so-called Black Power movement right now is not the Black Power movement of Huey P. Newton. It's not the Black Power movement of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. It's not the Black Power movement of Malcolm X before he left the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. It's something else. It's definitely, as BGS Ibmore says, it's definitely matriarchal. You see what I'm saying? That's what it is. And so who benefits from wealthy, rich black men being shamed into only marrying black American women are black American women. That's who benefits. So look at the source. So these men that you're talking about who have a problem with another man and who you have sex with, that's weird, bro. Think about that. You worried about who another man has sex with. Are you gay? You see what I'm saying? Do you want him? You see what I'm saying? That's weird. Just think about that. So it's not in there. They don't care. They don't give a shit. Who cares? It's in these women's interest to do that. And they pulling these puppet strings of these men, these so-called, they pulling the puppet strings of these men to enforce that issue. You see what I'm saying? But as a man, you don't give a damn who another man, man. As long as he happy, ain't asking for you for no goddamn money. You see what I'm saying? You should be cool. Shit. You see, especially if it ain't your son or your grandson or something like that. What interest do you have? I could see if it's your son, like, son, you done brought that short little Asian woman home. Everybody in this house is 6'5". You done brought that little 5-foot woman over. The kids ain't gonna look like you. They're gonna be short. They ain't gonna be able to play point guard or nothing. I could see somebody, granddaddy or daddy, being concerned with that, but even still, like when the kids pop out, that's still my grandson or my son. You see what I'm saying? But you don't have any interest in what these other men do. Just like you shouldn't care what these women do. Let them go on. I told you, it's 2 billion black people, 2 billion Africans on this planet. If the 45 million Africans in this country, of which 25% ain't even from this country, in other words, only about 75% of the African Americans in this country are what we call ADOS. If they decide to swirl, it's just a small, we only make up 2% of the population. We ain't going nowhere. You know how many Nigerians it is right now in Nigeria? Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? We got plenty of African DNA that we can have injected, that we can call for back. Come on over, brother. Come to me, brother. I want you to come now. We got backup. You see what I'm saying? We're not going anywhere. I'm not concerned about the African population on this planet. But there are some people who are concerned with, they're more interested with what you do because they're of their own self. We could have a whole conversation on that. Thanks, Sanchez. But I hope I want to go to some other people before we're going on 5 hours.
Well, most definitely. I'll just leave with this last question. Thank you. Yeah. This is just a weird sort of religious question here that I was pondering. Do you think God is a separatist or integrationist? And I'm going to leave on that, guys. Salutes to Dennis Spurling, guys.
Okay, it depends on if you read the Old Testament or the New Testament, but we'll maybe address that on a Sunday.
Praise God. For sure.
You be
Thank
cool.
You so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Wow, that was interesting. And the reason it was interesting, I'm telling you, them guys know, and I salutes to Dennis Spurling, but they know if they leave me with the mic too long, I'm gonna kind of shake some shit up. Cause he saw where I was going. Did you see that his whole tune change about swirling? And I salutes to Dennis Spurling. I'm not gonna disrespect him because I really appreciate how I was treated just now and everything. But let me see here. Let me open up the little Zoom real quick, guys, so I can have my So we don't be looking at an empty screen, you know, right there. And let me get in the chat room and see. Yeah, I was looking forward to a longer conversation because I'm subscribed to Dennis Spurling, and I agree with him on some things, and I disagree with him on some things. And I'm serious about the brother music. It got a mature vibe to it. But now here's the thing. I want those brothers to think closely on the arguing points that's constantly made. You understand? Like, because I think as black men, we kind of look for an out to not be accountable, man. Like, and I think the biggest one now is for black men as a collective is divestors and swirlers are making it hard. And the reason I brought that up is because you don't hear that in other races of men. You don't hear that in other races of men. They do what they gotta do. So he agreed with me on that. So I drop a bomb. Also, that part, if God is a separatist or integrationist, is gonna keep them up tonight. Did you see when I asked that question how? No, let's stop. No, we'll have to talk about that. Hey, when you get a pastor to say praise Lord, that mean, damn, man, you got me thinking. You know what I'm saying? Yo, because guess what you will have to say? God is an integrationist. God is an integrationist, and God is a swirler, and God is not a separatist. Wow, I think that's an interesting topic, but salutes to, hey, that was respectful, man. It's awesome, you know. I appreciate that, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to drop the link out there, yo. Hey, salutes, AM1, salutes, my brother. How you doing, man? Make sure y'all subscribe to the brother AM1 as well, man. Very motivational stuff going on over on his channel. Think he was live the other day. I got an alert. Yeah, man. So let's drop a bomb for AM1. Yeah, man. Oh, Nathaniel Hills, you know, they were basically going on and see, let me show you what the name of his show was. The anti-black male divestor swirling rhetoric is a threat to the lives of all black men. I wanted to push back on that a little bit to say, come on now, this is kind of fear-mongering. Like a dude dating out is really not a threat to the life of all black men, really. That's kind of a big, we're using the government's tactics now, like, you know, so I kind of wanted to push back. But I like the energy. I like the energy, man. You know what I'm saying? You can cut it off. I like that the energy, like I said, I don't agree with everything that Dennis teach, but salutes to him and is respectful, so that's what's up. Hey, I'm not gonna be live too long though, guys. So click the link and holler at me if you want to, and let's get it in and get it out, if you will. Yeah, man. Yeah, you can't keep me on your shit too long. And it's gonna get that. They know if you peep the stream, he didn't give me that much time to talk. And I was very respectful. It's just the questions that I'm gonna ask. It ain't gonna be easy questions now. You're gonna be, oh, I'm gonna have to think about it a little. It's a way to do this shit, right? And salutes to those brothers, man. And I had a whole sheet of paper. I didn't even really get started, man. Damn it. They always do me like that. I'm like a red flag when he come around, man. Look here. But salutes, man. Much respect. Much respect. I'm glad he did that, what he did. Some guys don't even do that, so hey. Oh, if you on a panel, go ahead and unmute at any time and Bill, we're gonna get it in and get it out. Salutes to all of y'all.
Hey, one thing he did do that was good is he keep good control over his panel and the whole thing. They got it running real smooth. It's only one at a time talking every time. I liked that. But it seemed like he tried to save you to the end so he can cut it short for real. But go ahead.
Salutes. Salutes to Gary, Queen Angel. Welcome, guys. Salutes to the brother AM1 joining, man. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, glad to have y'all.
Bro Sanchez, I just wanted to compliment. Can you hear me?
Yes, sister. You
Okay. Compliment your patience, one. And also just say, I'm from North Carolina, and where I was raised, it was very racist. We had the KKK. As a matter of fact, my uncle was killed by the KKK. They stripped him and put him in a car and drove him over a edge, edge of a mountain, edge of a cliff. They put his car in park and drive and put a brick on it. And that's how they found him when he was found. And even still, with that being said, I've always been very fond of my brethren, Black brethren. So, but I did question my mom once, and I asked her, what would you think if I dated a white man, Mom? And she looked at me, knowing that her brother had been killed by a white man. And she said to me out her mouth, Angel, as long as he loves you and he treats you right and you don't have no problems, I don't care what color he is. Well, that made me comfortable, but I still wasn't necessarily interested in branching out just because I won't. But what people have to realize is that it's three things that is going to allow you to get a man and hold on to him. And the first thing is stimulation. He has to be stimulated by what he sees and attracted to you in some type of way. The next thing is motivation. You have to be able to, as a woman, motivate your spouse. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you have to be able to motivate your spouse. And then furthermore, inspire. You have to be able to inspire him. And when you come with that package, it's not a man on this earth that ain't gonna want you. I mean, I know because I got the formula. And so it's not hard for people to fall in love with you when you have the formula, because you actually know what it takes to support, nurture, love, and not allow his issues to be a hindrance, but seek out a solution opposed to talking about the problem all the time. And so if a woman comes, whether she's Black, white, Asian, whatever color she may be, if she can give you those things, you go with it. When people are too concerned with what's going on in someone else's bedroom or who they're sleeping with, it's just too much. Period, point blank, across the board, because everything that goes with Black, it's gonna become Black. It's gonna.
My concern, and I'm about to pass the mic around, man. I want to thank everyone for joining. Salutes AM1. Thank you for joining, man. Because I definitely want to hear what everybody got to say. Demetrius Gorse, salutes, my brother. Sir
Salute
Drop,
to you, man.
salutes to you. Me, myself, welcome back, man. Uno X, we going to see if they pronounce your name right tonight, my brother. Welcome back. Hey, salutes, my brother. So check it out, right? My concern with the whole divestment topic ain't necessary. Like, I joke about the dick police and all that. It's funny. But my concern ain't really like dick policing. It's when you tell our people as a whole, children and all that, swirlers are a threat. So now you've kind of put us in a box with terrorists and shit. Like, now the act of what I'm doing in the bed becomes, it's serious now. Now you're saying, nigga, that's when you say I'm a race traitor. And that's the conversation I think need to ultimately go to if people, they say sleeping with the enemy. But like Dennis Spurling said, it ain't necessarily the enemy if you date somebody of another race. They can be helping you build. It can be actually a benefit. So if you looking at it level-headed like that, I respect it. But yeah, that's my concern with just making the argument that it's a threat to the collective. You know what I'm saying? But yes,
I wanted to chime in.
yeah.
I didn't want to cut nobody off, but I wanted to chime in on it. And I have my wife is white, and I remembered a thing that you had said, bro Sanchez, of how creation was, how you believe that creation could be created in all different varieties, such as the plants and all the different animals, and how you said that, the creator might have created children, old people, teenagers, all at one time. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, we can't just say, oh, I'm just, because I'm black, I have to be with a black woman. That's not, we're all one race. It's the human race. And once people really understand and figure out that a color, a hue of your skin doesn't matter about how you love someone or how someone treats you. A white person is capable of showing just as much love as a black woman. A black man is capable of showing the same amount of love as a white man would do. Now, a thing that I wanted to address was a lot of people put color on everything to try to separate. You know what I'm saying? I really believe that diversity is a big thing, and I think that we should be diverse and we should share what we have with other people, not just our own skin color kind. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the beauty of humans, is that we can be diverse, and we can share each other without having to put a color on anything. So.
Yeah. I think that was well said, my brother Demetrius. I agree with you on all of that. Hey, Gary, hold on a second. Let me welcome you back. Those salutes to the people. Come on. Let me get AM1 in real quick, if y'all don't mind. I haven't heard the brother. He haven't been on in a while, and I want to salute him. Thank you once again for joining, brother. Feel free to interject, AM1.
Sanchez was good. You hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Yeah, salute. Dope to be on the panel with you, bro. It's been a minute. As you know, we've been rocking, all over YouTube a little bit, but definitely within the, Black YouTube, Black Manosphere thing. So I've well versed in this whole discussion panels and whatnot, the whole race trader, whatever, dating out, swirler, divester, just watching the development of the levels of madness with this whole situation, to the point where it's like y'all majoring in the minors, y'all hustling backwards. You worried about way low level things at this point. And that's on purpose. Divide and conquer strategies from the controllers, the handlers, the so-called elites at the top. Has race been an issue, contentious around the world within this country as far as history? Obviously, we know history has been reset. We don't really know beyond, 200, 500 years, but we definitely know race has been used as a demarcation point to create class strata, right? So there is something to be said for that. The idea of like genetic lineage progressing as it pertains to cultures in various, relative to certain regions. There's some value there, but the way it's going now, the whole world is one big, more or less pop culture kind of thing. For people who subscribe to pop culture more, everything is basically American pop culture based around hip hop, based around essentially stuff that so-called Black folks have done, has kind of conquered the world as far as the overall consciousness and zeitgeist. America being a mixing pot, America melting pot, being sort of the leader of the world, so to speak, culture-wise, for better or for worse. It was bound to move in that direction, especially within this country. There was going to be mixing. There's proximity. I live here in the Bay Area. It's real diverse here. Then there's the whole idea of even within, let's just say, Black folks. There's no one specific Black culture, right? It's stratified. It's class divided as well. A lot of people don't talk about that issue. So just this whole thing of who's sleeping with who, dick policing, is so lame and it's so corny. And let me really break down, not to be too long-winded, but let me break down exactly why it's super corny. Sanchez, you'll feel me on this. We have high-level so-called elite psychopaths that are really trying to pull the ultimate divide and conquer move, two-tier society based on this craziness and this so-called threat that's going on right now. Yes. But you have people that are so low-level, worried about losing their attention, losing their sex, losing whatever, to the point where they really want to do this dick policing thing and try to say it's about some kind of cultural relevance. It's about, you know, black, your mama black, all this, you got to be with somebody black, hair color got to match, all this different nonsense. But it's like we are being divided into a two-tier society based on psychos trying to decide what goes in your body. If you're that focused on who's having sex with who, at this point, if you're even that much worried about, I mean, I hate to say it, but having children, period, since there's such a big question mark on what's going to happen for the rest of this month, let alone the rest of the year, let alone 5 years from now, children being put in schools, suffering, being, you know, threatened with the idea of having to have certain weird things forced on them. I'm being careful with my words. I don't want to get your stream shut down. But you understand what I'm saying? I'm looking at it from the high order, high level threats we're facing as a people, like as a species. People are worried about these race, ethnicity type dividers. I'm like, y'all just helping these people at the top sow more confusion, more division. We really got to sort out the fact that we have a common enemy. And I don't know if you got to put your junk away, put your dick away, put your pussy away for a minute and, you know, get off that lower chakra vibe and really, you know, get on some higher level, highbrow thinking and understand what we're dealing with. Feel me? Not to be too long-winded, but go ahead.
Nah, man. Hey, listen, that is just the cold, hard facts, man. And listen, that's just what it is. Like, there's so much more bigger things to be talking about. Even though I entertain this topic too, I wonder often, am I playing a part in you know, contributing to some of the low level stuff? Because, and that's why I don't like to do too many of these on this level. But I think, like he said, they are using, like, I don't think we seeded this argument out there. I think they did, and now we just arguing it now. And it's like, you know what I'm saying, kind of irresistible to not argue back, but at the same time, it'll feed into something they seeded out there to get these reactions to keep you from arguing about bigger shit that's like real. I think he really made a good point. I'm going to pass the mic, man. Salutes to AM1. Y'all subscribe to the brother, man. For real.
What up, everybody on the panel?
Double
hey, bro,
citizen, man. Hell yeah, hell yeah.
Salute to you, man. Appreciate you having me on. I can't stay long enough tonight to start no shit like I normally do, but I'm gonna say this. You made a point earlier and you was like, you know, it seems like our people are the only ones really concerned about swirling and dating out and divestment. No other race is really making this thing an issue. And you know what that proved to me? That proved to me that it seems like we have become the most racist fucking people in this country, because only a racist would worry that much about skin color to the point where they're going to judge somebody for their dating choices because of the skin color of the person they dated. It's fucking ridiculous. And it took me back to this whole political debate about the trans kids thing, because I apply the same concept to that, where there's these parents that want to turn their little boys into little girls, but why are you so concerned about your kid's sexuality? Anybody that's so concerned about a child's sexuality that they feel the need to change it, you are participating in pedophilia at that point. So if you apply that concept to our racial debate about dating out and divestment, we're participating in racism right now, because we're literally making decisions or having a discussion that's solely centered around skin color. And that's not the way it should be, because like you teach all the time, bro, at the top, the elites at the top, they're all different colors. They have to be, because they come from all over the world. You know what I'm saying? And once we start thinking like that and get over this whole racial thing, then I really believe that we can make some real progress. And naturally, Black people are going to come together, because people are naturally tribal. You know what I'm saying? If you land in a foreign country and there's people of all colors around, you're probably going to go to the dark-skinned cab driver because he reminds you of you. He looks more like you. If you put and it's the same thing with animals. You put a brown chimpanzee in a cage with a bunch of black and brown chimpanzees, he's going to befriend a brown one first because it looks like him. It's just a natural thing. So so it seems like these swirler and divestment conversations are kind of like forcing the issue and emphasizing an issue that doesn't really need to be emphasized. I mean, 88% of Black men that are married to Black women. It sounds like it's naturally happening on its own. So if we're so concerned about divestment, that means we're literally ignoring the 88% and having whole conversations about the 12%. You know what I mean? And that brings me to what you were saying right before I took the mic, which is this is some low level shit that we got bigger shit to worry about right now.
Can I expound on that, citizen?
Hey
Uh,
man, you can have
what
it, bro. Go for it.
what you said was very clear, man, and it hit me hard. And I think that that they do that so we can be divided, so we don't rise up against them. You know what I'm saying? And come together and understand each other and be collective to rise up against those that are hindering us, you know. And that was very deep. That was very powerful, man. And I wanted to say also, I had my father was speaking to me this past Christmas. I was down with a friend, and you know, we're barbecuing. They were telling me he's an ex-police officer, and he was telling me about that lady that just got convicted for killing that guy. And he was explaining that some white folks in that field of work are fear. They fear us, you know, or fear black people. So that's why they retaliate the way they do.
That was one of the
You know what I'm saying?
conversations that was being had, and that's why it
Mhm.
was a tragedy I wasn't able to speak a little bit longer over there on the panel. Salutes to me myself. I'm about to pass the mic around too, so we can get everybody in, guys. But yeah, so
It's good, bro.
I think in the YouTube space, salutes OG Leo. In the YouTube space, it said that the biggest thing that's kind of fucking up the image of black men is swirlers, black women talking shit about the black man and all that. But these same guys who making that argument will be huge hip hop heads. And I'd be like, damn, ain't hip hop the biggest contributing factor to everybody seeing the black man as a threat? Because here is the black man's art form. And in the black man's art form, this is what you speak to society with, in case y'all didn't know your culture's art. So in our art form as black men, what is the main thing we say in all our music and shit? Like, you need to be scared of me. We tell America in our music, you better be scared of me, nigga. Like, I'm a gangster. I kill. I shot 10. We tell them, be scared of us, man. We gangsters. Like, you better be scared. And when they get scared and the police treat you like that, this is a result of the image that we kind of embraced coming up as wanting to be that old dog on menace to society and shit. Like, we kind of, I'm just trying to have a little accountability. But yeah, go ahead, guys.
Nah, I feel where you're coming from, bro. And that's one of the internal issues that if we as a people came together collectively and worked on correcting and spent that energy instead of talking about swirling and divestment, spent the energy talking about how toxic our culture has been allowed to become, then we would just become better people overall, which would make us more attractive to each other. You know what I'm saying? So the people who are concerned about divestment and who are concerned about swirling won't have to be worried about that, because black women are naturally going to seek out black men, and black men are naturally going to seek out black women, because now we can view each other as viable mates rather than a college educated black man or a business owning black man has done good for himself, but he's single. Hit the image in his mind, if he's on Instagram all day, is that all black women are hoes. I ain't marrying one of them. Hell no. You know what I mean? And the same thing for the black woman that wants to have a stable life and a stable husband. She looks on social media and what she see, all that thugism. So she's like, I'm not marrying no niggas. Hell no. You know what I mean? But what if it was something different? What if decent people looked on social media and saw other decent people? And that was the image that we projected to everybody, not only with the bad interactions with outside groups like white people or police or whoever, not only would those incidents decrease, but the friction between black men and black women that we see right now, this gender war that's unfolding, would kind of just fade away. You know what I mean? And there was a time in this country's history when that was the case, and it was at the height of segregation, because black people didn't have no choice but to stick together. And they had no choice but to be decent people, because there was this overbearing machine that had already labeled them as something and did everything they could to put them in jail and make them look like the bad motherfuckers that we've essentially become today. And by that, they were forced to be more moral people. They were forced to be, stick together, marry each other, work together, you know what I'm saying? And play their role. And it showed in the marriage numbers, the legitimacy numbers, the IQ numbers, Even in the wealth numbers, there was still a wealth gap, but it was starting to close. You know what I mean? So I think this is just my personal opinion. If we spend this energy working on the internal issues within the group, all the other issues from outside that plague us are going to subside.
Well, I'm on the other side with this. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we're supposed to be swirling as I don't think no race is supposed to be swirling but
I can present this in a way, my brother Dominique, and I shot at you out earlier. Salutes, welcome back, my brother. I'm gonna give you the floor. I ain't gonna interrupt you. I want to ask you a question because I already know where you stand. You know, me and you always debated this, my brother. I wanted to go with it this time from a is it natural or unnatural argument. Go ahead, my brother. You got it. Is it natural or unnatural? Yeah.
It's unnatural. It's unnatural to be swirling, but it's natural when we use it as a war tactic, because there was a war tactic to get these lesser recessive beings up off the planet, and I can't say that. Now, when it comes to like actually dating and marrying and having a full-on happy-go-lucky, we weren't supposed to be doing that. We were supposed to be making babies with them. Take the baby, make that baby, go get a black woman, let the elderly recessive beings die off. That's how we would clean out the race. That was a war tactic.
Will you agree, even if we use swirling for a war tactic, that is natural that the human emotions gonna get involved once we start having sex with them and seducing them and all of this stuff, you know?
Well, in America, that'll happen because America is just different from any other country when it comes to our music, our lust rate. You know, the things we are into in America. We are overly sexualized. We too much in our feelings. That's how we are in America. You see what I'm saying? But in a natural state, knowing when you're awakened and when you know the shape of the planets and stuff like that, and you know what you're supposed to be doing, but in a state of sleep, and people do anything when you sleep, and they know not what they do. So it's kind of weird, man.
Man, I just don't think you're giving me enough, my brother Dominique, to make the argument that is unnatural. Because
all right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, do you have children, Dominique?
Yes.
Okay. Did your children go to a daycare?
No, they my mother's their daycare.
Okay. Well, you could take 2 children, black, white, whatever colors you want to make them, opposite colors, or a group of children. It is natural that when they get in that room and they see that other kid playing, that they just gonna go over there and say, can I play with you? Can I talk to you? Can you be my friend? They have that dialogue as little children. And I've seen studies where racist KKK parents have newborn children, and in toddler age, they put them in a room with black kids and the child plays with the black children. Racism, hate, all those
Now,
negative
hold on.
emotions, they are taught. They are taught by the parent. This is
Now watch
something,
this.
this is a learned
Yeah,
behavior.
nature don't put racism in us. That's
Right.
fact.
Let
So
me show you. But this where you got. Hold on. Let me point something out to you.
go ahead.
Right. You know, children gonna be children. They see another child playing, no matter what color, race, they gonna automatically get the clicking and stuff. But when they do get the clicking, see my son, right? Say my son and his daycare with a white boy or Chinese, or all of them together, right? And they're over there playing. What's gonna happen is when they go over there and get the racing, let's race, let's see what's going on. My son's gonna whoop their ass and racing all the time. When they're gonna go over there, anything they do, my son is always gonna outdo them. And that would naturally bring out hate as they grow, because they have those children, they click, you gotta remember, they have to grow up and be teenagers, then they be adults. As they get older, as time go past, these other races see, Why is he better than us in everything? Why is he better than it? Why?
That's not true, man.
That
Right.
is true.
I don't because
Man,
guess
look,
what?
I went
Let
to
me
this.
get y'all
Hold
in
on. I went
context.
to this. Hold on. Let me say one thing. I'm going to
You
give
know
it
what
right
I'm
to
saying?
you. I went to this all black school, right? We went state and football, all black, our whole team black. That white team beat us 56-0. So you can't say just because you black, it just, never mind. Y'all go ahead. I ain't about to get in the middle of that one. Go ahead.
No, okay.
So I think
was just-
I wanted to go take him back to, is it natural or not? That's the argument you gotta have, because if it's natural, you can't justify why you shouldn't do it. You're acting out of your natural, your human nature.
Now, knowing that we have those who say we should be able to swirl. Swirling is natural. Then you have those, because look, everybody was on here saying swirling should be. Now I'm the one that says we shouldn't be swirling.
I'm
But
saying
a
it's
person
natural.
people that think that we shouldn't swirl exist. So I am naturally acting this out. We are all naturally speaking our mind.
I got a question. This will seal it for me, and I'll shut up. If you and your family are driving and you happen to get in a car accident and one of your children are hurt to a point of needing another body part, and you get to the hospital and they say, we got a white kid's heart right here that just passed. Would you like us to give that heart to your son, or are you just going to let him pass?
If you
would
actually do your
natural for
scientific
you?
research, a white kid heart cannot go in the body because you also have to match the DNA.
That's false. That's false.
Blood type.
Oh my!
That's
They can
false.
I'm gonna
identify
That is
organs by
very
race,
Thank
false.
man. They
you.
identify them by
Thank
blood
you.
type, not
That is
race.
very false.
Blood
I've seen
type.
a
They don't
white
even know.
a
They don't
white
even know
kid
what
do
race
a
person that
transplant
heart
for
would
a
have
black
come
man.
from if they was
Yes,
Let
they
me
do.
show you
Bro,
something.
yes, you do.
Let me
And
show
they're
you something,
using
right?
Yes, they do.
pigs.
Watch this.
They're using pigs to put in people bodies, pig body
The
parts to
Hey,
help humans continue to live.
Exactly. Artificial hearts.
Is Dominique saying that black and white blood can't be interchanged?
That's
Yes,
what it
that's what
sounds
he's
like to
saying.
me.
But
That
let
is
me
what
show
it's.
him some. Like, bro,
that was
all you got to
debunked
do,
in World War
I'm gonna
One.
get him some right this. Go research what happened to see Dominique. I'm a military guy, right? Check this out. Shout out to OG Leo. They was really doing the blood transfusions and all that on a massive scale during the Vietnam War. I think OG Leo can touch on that if he want to, but I've told y'all this before. During the Vietnam War, we had this mentality that whites, blacks, we all different and shit. But what the technology they was using during that war to save lives had the soldiers asking fucking questions like, why am I a match with this white guy and not my black friend right here? Why is doctor telling, you may go to the hospital and find out that you may have a more compatible match, goddammit, with a whole nother foreign human than somebody that may be readily available in your race right there. Which I'm saying is like blood compatibility can be proven in nature. If you need a blood transfusion, you can get blood from a white woman even though you're a black man.
Correct.
Hey, can I say something? So, to what Dominique was saying, you guys can hear me, right?
Oh yeah, Fiasco, we can hear you.
Cool. Peace to the panel. Peace to Real Sanchez. I just wanted to hit what Dominique was saying real quick. So, by swirling, we mean mixing of races, right? I'm just to make sure we're correct, like on the same definition. Mixing of races, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if it's a mixing of races, understanding that race is races have already been diluted, right? So for many generations, races have already been diluted. And phenotypic features, they don't determine race because race is construed as a social idea. It's a social concept. You understand? And it's whether somebody being black or white, that doesn't determine their race. Worse, biological stuff like, the blood, because blood can be mixed. It happens all the time, right? So I just wanted to hit on what Dominique said. whether as to whether or not it's natural or unnatural, you can't say that it's natural because race, like I said, unnatural because race is a social thing. It's not something that.
No, well, wait a minute. When we talk about what's natural or unnatural, we're saying, is it natural, for example, for a black man to be attracted to a white woman, and is it natural for them to mix and have a baby? We're not really saying having a race argument here.
Gotcha.
They call it swirling if you want to use the
We're more
nigga
debating
term.
human
I
nature.
got you. Yeah. And just to pose where I stand on that, I think it's totally natural to be attracted to another race or something like that. So
To me, there's no such thing as another race. We're all one race. That's the thing that people aren't getting.
That's true.
There's no such thing.
Right.
To the point
And
where
then another thing too, nobody in this whole panel right now is racist. We don't control anyone's state of living. We don't tell no one where to do this or do that. If anyone is racist, that would be the government because they control. If you want to use the word, it would be prejudice.
This is the thing about the word racist. We got to watch out because it only means one who loves his race. It has nothing to do with hatred, and that's what we got to understand right there. That's all it means. One who loves his race. It don't say one who hates. Let me ask you a question.
If a black man falls in love with a white woman, let's say, and he marries, have children, all that stuff, do you say he loves his race? You say he hate his race now?
That don't necessarily mean he hates his race. Okay. He just like that woman.
Okay, cool. I'm with it.
But this is the thing. It comes to a point where, right, we have all kind of life forms. Now, I think as humans, we are the more conscious. We are the most sleep organism on the planet right now, but we are also the most the most conscious of all organisms in existence, and we're the most omnipresent besides trees, stuff like that.
Meaning humans, right?
Yeah, humans.
Okay.
But this also has a weakness to it, right? It has a weakness to it. Now, when we look at, you can put an apple tree, because everything has DNA. Every DNA is the bottom line of it all. Now, you can put an orange tree right next to an apple tree, but never mind the tree. Let's deal with the roots in which from the ground they come from underneath. Now, under the ground, we can't see all of the roots and the lines and the veins of these trees, but they are all interconnected and intertwined under the ground. But the orange tree never makes a mistake and grow or mess around and grow an apple tree, even though the apple tree might be
but now, you know why? The orange tree will mate with other different kinds of orange trees. Like, for example, the grapefruit.
Speak to him, Sanchez.
Yeah, like the grapefruit is literally, I think, a combination of two kind of different
done
oranges.
By a human, not natural.
No, this is what I'm saying, though. This is what I'm saying. When humans come together and mix their sperm, humans are doing that too. These mixtures can't happen without the human interaction.
If you leave the trees alone and let them do what
they will naturally mix, bro. Let me show you something, man. Right. Let me show you something.
Show me where
hold on, wait. You know how pink roses are made? When a red rose mate with a white rose.
Show me how that happened.
Come on.
Come on, bro.
Cross-pollination by the bees, man. Cross-pollination by the bees, which are also part of nature. So it happens in nature.
Let this
look
dude
at it
know,
like
man.
this, Dominic. You have to think. Hey, listen, Dominic. You gotta listen. You have to think the Most High Creator is dumb as hell if he was gonna give all of us the same type of coochies and Peters that they wasn't gonna go inside each other. So it's gotta be natural. No, it has to be natural, huh?
But it's something called order.
All right, man. Never mind.
And
You
look,
know, let me show you how this work, right?
go ahead, go ahead.
Let's say humans are cars, right? These cars come in different colors. But you know, when we talk about blood, right, that will be like the gas. Now, if my red
Actually, the oil.
hold on. Nope, I'm gonna say gas because it's the fuel. I'm going with the fuel. Hear me out. Hear me out, because this is how they categorize blood, like cars. If humans are cars, cars come in different colors. Every car, no matter what color it is, got the same color gas. Every human, no matter what color it is, got the same color blood. Now, hear me out. The arguments we have is like a white car saying, you can't take gas from that black car. Yes, you can. You can siphon gas from the black car, put it in the white car. Now, guess where you couldn't do that for real? You could, but it wouldn't. They got some called gas grades, and I think that's when you get into the blood types. And it's funny that the types is A, B, C, and I'm telling you about gas grades, right? You know what I'm saying? To me, that's the quality of the blood. You know, so I think that'll break down into the types. And if a car been using 89 for its whole life and you try to put the 87 in it, you're going to fuck it up. So I think that's how our blood work at the end of the day. And yeah, color don't
Hey,
because
look,
I have
you
to
got all these
expound on that. My
words.
brother
This my
lost
last
a kidney.
example, and
My brother
this my
lost
last
a kidney.
bro.
Check this out. My brother lost a kidney. He has a replacement, and it was by a white man. Okay, so
Okay, he probably
that
had
right
look
there.
in America. All things the swirling has always been here, and also in slavery.
And in
Hold on.
Egypt, Dominique
Oh,
Imhotep.
no.
Egypt.
That's later because this gonna go to something else.
All right.
But look, this because we in America. Like I probably got some white DNA in me because I got people in Louisiana. That's where my family is actually from. We're not actually from Texas. I was just born. I was the first one born here out of my family, and everybody under me. But my people from Louisiana, so we probably got like some slave owner blood in us somewhere deep down in the crutches. So of course that make it happen, but that won't happen nowhere in Africa. Remember, we got the earth. We not more specialer than nobody else on earth just because we're in America. It's people all on this planet, and we all should be loved, right? So we don't. But if you go to Africa, you can't put no white man blood in there because it's some places that haven't been tainted with no white blood at all since the beginning of time, and that's facts. So what I'm
You
saying,
must haven't been to South Africa then.
Everybody.
Dominique, if you believe all people come from Africa, then it's already in their blood.
No, because that's gonna lead to another conversation to how white people come out.
Okay, cool. I was just finna say you will have to come with a separate theory for where white.
Yeah, that's what
I'm. Yeah, okay. All right, hold on for a second, y'all. Let's go to the OG Leo because he always briefing. I don't want to keep him waiting too long. And then back to you, Dominique. You can finish. I just want to, you know what I'm saying, pass it around. Salutes to all.
Yeah, I appreciate you, bro, Sanchez, because I'm going to go back in the chat. Much love and much respect to everybody, flat motherfucking power. My point that I want to bring up is that, like, I feel like we're the most hated group. And if swirling was so good, why nobody want to take us home to their parents? Because all their parents hate us, but swirling is so cool.
That ain't true, OG.
That's not true. My wife is white. That's not true.
They take you
from my experience in life, nobody wants to bring us home to their parents.
Sir,
and that's just the way I feel. I may be
That's
wrong.
your perception. That's you.
I may be wrong, but that's from what I've seen. But go ahead, y'all. Go ahead.
Speak for every black man about that.
Everybody.
All right, let me
and you
speak
have to
real quick
remember,
before
just scientifically speaking,
My mic
100%.
okay, Mr. Sanchez?
100%
I got you,
nothing
Gary.
is true.
And let me get myself, you out to the sister.
I was just saying that 100% of nothing is true. And I think the issue with Dominique right now is everything is personal. Even you see
the Clorox only kills 99.99 something. Nothing is 100%, but we all gonna die. That's 100%. But outside of that, it's nothing. Die and pay taxes, as they say. But if you don't work, you don't pay taxes. So still, it's a percentage off of that. And what he's trying to do is encompass his thought process with his experiences.
Nah. I ain't gonna let you speak for me. Shout out to you, but that ain't what it is. I pertain.
No,
these
that's
shit
what you're
online,
doing, sir. I'm not
but
speaking for you. It's what you're doing. The panel
It's
can
not
tell you that. That's what
It's-
you're doing. You're talking about your experience, in essence, or your opinion. So you may not know the facts, because for you not to know that children of all colors will play together. I have people
Just
in my
because
neighborhood
a
where
dog
a
will play with
white
a
girl.
cat.
Listen, sir, I have people in my neighborhood. There's two families. They had children at the same time, and their daughters grew up beside each other. They think they're sisters, and one is white and one is definitely black with Afro puff hair, and they're like, "This is my sister," and they are sisters. And people ask them, well, your
But it's
skin
not
is
true.
different colors. Your skin is different colors. How can you think that she's your sister? And the little girl said, that doesn't matter. I threw my hands up and I don't, it's like at some point.
They more mature than us a lot of times.
Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, go ahead, Dominique.
This is the thing, man. Like, look, all right. I don't deal with personal issues. You know, I know white people. I'm not fit sit here and be like, I don't know white people. I know white people, but I also know the truth behind the science after observing the world since I've been in it, not because of just slavery, you know what I'm saying? But that I observed that also I observed everything, which give me a hypothesis to study. And when after my further study, you know what I'm saying, I come up with this conclusion. And it's stuff like if you look in the sky, it's thousands, millions of birds in the sky every day, bro. Every day. And everything in existence does this, and what I'm about to say about the birds. Red robins, bluebirds, crows, peregrine falcons, bald eagles. Hold on. This is the thing. Every bird I name flies with its own vibration and frequency. Red robins do not kick it with blue birds.
Well, that's what makes us so powerful. We're human. They're
Bro,
animals.
Hold on.
Let me ask you a question.
That's why I said we lost, because we have forgot our sacred order. As for we was like it was different.
Wait. Dominique, I just gotta put this right here for a minute for you.
Now, my thing, bro.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
You gotta talk about.
Yeah, hold on. Let's hear the mental gymnastics Dominique is gonna do this time.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask Dominique a question real quick.
Oh, you give
years
it
Oh, those can be pets.
Yeah, hold on.
Man.
Years ago, my stepdaughter, she had.
Bro, oh man, it's the person taking the picture. You have to actually go out and nature yourself.
Here go a red and blue bird together right here,
bro. Look, hey, tomorrow, look, we can do this.
Here go another picture.
Tomorrow, y'all go outside and y'all go just observe the sky whenever y'all get out of work, whatever y'all do.
I guess he doesn't
You will
understand
never see this
that
shit
the
he doing.
robin, the red robin and the blue jay are the same bird. It's the same bird.
That's why I brought them up. But if
Come
you
on,
actually,
man.
when I go outside,
the blue jay and the red robin are the same bird, bro.
They be
Dude,
together.
they do not fly together. This is the computer, so they wanna. You don't know if those are pets or not.
Man.
You don't know that.
So you're saying that Creator put us here.
Observe real
We're
life.
supposed to just be with our one race. That's what you're trying to say right now. That the
We're
Creator
supposed to
put
be
us
with our
here
own
to
race,
just
and we're
do
supposed to
gymnastics.
trade amongst each other with different nations. You have a colder climate, nation, and you have a the children of the sun nation. You see what I'm saying? You have different nations, and we trade amongst each other for different things that have in their
You
area.
telling me
They're
these
all
pictures
people.
Photoshop, man?
They're all people. They're all people, though, at the end of the day. And I'm
It's the
just going to say to you,
photographer.
sir,
So
I'm just going to say
Dominique,
this, Dominique, make sure whatever you do, if that ever happens, you save your son or your child, because until you have a degree to where that you know this blood does not connect with this blood, or this heart does not connect with that
Bro, you
heart.
can read the same information that's in the books in colleges. You can get it on Google.
I'm
They got the
surprised he
books
didn't go to
Okay,
the
so
dogs because I
my thing
know
is
plenty of
so
different dog
Dominique,
breeds that you can mix and match up and different things like that.
Bro, it's because humans are doing that.
He
What do
yeah,
got
you
out of
I
there.
get
mean?
that. I
That's
get what
what
you're
God
saying,
has
bro.
made us to
But
do.
Dominique,
We're supposed to. We're
Dominique,
supposed to be diverse, bro.
I'm
Why
talking
don't you get
naturally,
that?
bro. Listen what
that
I'm saying.
is nature. What about
That's
you don't
nature.
get that, girl?
Nature is
It's not nature,
diverse.
it's girls and boys.
It's
This
funny
is
he says
nature.
nature and race is
Nature
artificial.
is female and male. That's nature.
So
so
you telling
Female.
me
Dominique,
a liger? So you telling me a liger is natural, right?
I'm talking
Let
about
me say
our
Yes.
something.
human beings. We're talking about humans.
Yeah,
It is female and male. That is what was created.
you
It
know what?
said it was female and male that was created.
But you
However,
also have an X and a
Hold
Y.
on, hold on,
You
hold
have
on, hold
dominant. You
on,
have
hold on,
recessive.
Dominique. Dominique, this what I'm telling you right here. In a natural world, nature created everything diverse, meaning she made red flowers, white flowers, pink flowers, all that. She created all the colors of everything the way they exist, right? But check this out. What happens is when them colors go back into each other, they think they doing something new. And I tell you, ain't no such thing as mixing. It can only be remixing, because I can make a pink rose by mixing a white and red rose, but I'm not doing that. But hold on. But wait a minute. I'm not doing nothing. Nature ain't already dead, because the pink rose existed before I mixed the red and white one. Like I said, I just remixed it.
that's facts. That's
and
facts.
all I can say is save your son, because if you ain't doing no doctoral studies on this shit to really know, and
I
then
have. You don't know me, so my son is saved. You feel me?
reading books, and
You
you got
save your children. My son say he gonna have a black
study,
woman. They gonna have black children, and that's the end of it, bro.
unless you
I
study.
feel you. I feel you.
And
Yeah,
how and
yeah,
if he
get.
doesn't, then what?
Yeah, hold
He's
on.
gonna.
I'm not confused.
Hold on, y'all. Let me get me myself in real quick, because I got to get out of here and I got to make sure I let everybody speak before I do. Salutes to the entire panel.
Appreciate that, bro. Hey, what's good? Panel was good, bro. Sanchez. I just wanted to say that I don't even want to ask the question of, scientifically speaking, why does he think it's a bad thing? Because we're gonna go off on another tangent, and he's gonna like broad stroke the actual details, and it's not gonna make sense about how scientifically speaking it doesn't matter, because there's no detriment to you having sex, or me. I'm just gonna speak for me myself, right? Having sex with a white female, that's not going to deteriorate our genes, because in all of your DNA, the double helix are your traits. Their traits are in everybody's strand. And so the traits are already there. It's already coded into our DNA. So
Facts.
when we start to argue the different spectrums of the one, there's light goes through a spectrum. That's why we have the different colors. It's still only one. But what I wanted to get into is that I can understand why some people argue that we shouldn't be swirling, because of how it was used as a tactic of war here, everywhere as well. But when he said that you can't find Europeans or white people anywhere around Africa, according to what he was about to talk about in Yakubian theory, that's the route the big-headed inner Earth alien took to graph out of us, the so-called Caucasian, according to what he was probably about to say. And I say probably because I don't know. I want to go and speak for him. But in every way, shape, or form, once you're part of the paradigm, once you're here, you're in the learning process that's going to build the next one. So it doesn't matter. Once you're here, you're here. And that's all I wanted to say.
Hey, Dartmouth, I want you to click the link. I want the guy named Dartmouth to click the link. I want to see if you're bold enough to come up respectfully, professionally, and, you know, have the floor. Mute up, and I want to hear your perspective. You making some interesting types. Hey, salutes to everybody on the panel. He said people who are interracial dating is called simply because of lust. And interracial couples are the least harmonious. I would like them to come up and expound on it. But he said interracial dating exists because of lust. I would say all dating exists because of lust, for real, though. You know what I'm saying?
Is that? That was
I
my
don't
bad.
know the guy who was speaking earlier, but all I would tell him is that, you know, evolution, you know, as far as evolution, what you're saying literally makes no sense. And race is a social construct. Human beings are the only species that separate each other by color. No other animal does that.
Exactly. So yeah,
That's exactly what
you
I
get a
said
litter
earlier.
of dogs. They don't.
That's not true.
segregate their puppies. They just run them all together. They don't care. The puppies come out multiple colors. They don't care. As Bro Sanchez, he breeds dogs. Ask him if his dogs separate each other by color.
I
No,
live
they
in
don't.
Texas,
Not at
man, and I
all.
see nothing but pastures of a bunch of cows that are different colors.
Maybe.
You got cows that are black and white. You got cows that are brown and white. You got cows that are just dark as ever. You got cows that are just white as ever. Okay? There's no such thing as just one, right? Just all this different, we're diverse, point blank, period. And if you want to single yourself and be with a black woman, that's what you do. That's your preference. That's what you like. Just because a man says, oh, I don't want to be with a black woman, that's his preference. He'd rather date something else.
Look, now answer this. Why haven't black people and those other so-called people, or black, whatever you want to call it, different shape, why haven't we never got along since the beginning of time? And this is before slavery.
Hold on, wait a minute. Let me
Before
ask you this.
slavery,
When the women ran
Hold on.
everything,
because we are out of order.
Hold up.
That's why.
He said we never got along, but said he know white folks and all that.
Go to the mother on them, Sanchez. Go to the great mother on them. Show them.
Yeah, you
Nah,
can't
let him
say.
speak. I want to hear about his time back at the beginning of time, because I sure would like to know what it was like since he was there.
Dominique, you're right about us being out of order, but that's not the reason, bro. The only real natural order is law. It's land, air, and water. You understand? So what's been given to us is what's been given to us. So I don't agree.
Everybody watch this Netflix.
Human beings, not only have we separated each other by color, we separate each other by geographic location. No other species does that either.
Now listen, I'm finna show y'all some. The person that said recessive gene, I bet you they can't explain the science of how white people got recessive genes. A lot of people out here say that they don't really do research, and I'll really kill them on that. Like it ain't what they see. It's crazy, man. It's just a word they say. But what if you ask them what is a recessive gene?
They don't know. All you got to do is a quick Google search and look up just DNA for dummies, deoxyribonucleic acid. Once you know what a nucleus is and how that's the whole brain, the root of
the sun is the answer to it all, basically, bro.
I knew he was. I'm glad he said that.
I'm rolling.
I'm glad he said that.
No,
facts,
bro.
No,
bro.
why? Because you're
bro.
gonna kill yourself once you go in. Because guess what?
I'm not just going to melanin.
The only way you can explain a recessive gene theory is with the solar worship he about to go into now. Because when you read what a recessive gene is, it's based on the theory of the whole one drop of dominant gene theory. In other words, you can't have no such thing as a recessive gene without the dominant gene theory. One gotta be dominator, one gotta be recessive. But when we prove that ain't no domination or no recessive going on in human genetics, that's when we see what we're gonna see. Go ahead though.
Yeah, but the selection is random. When you're talking about allele frequencies changing over time, I'm not understanding where y'all get that from. That when selected, it's random.
Well, listen.
If you study evolution, you would know that selection is random. And the reason we know about recessive genes is they used to call it junk DNA, and they found out it's not. It's just that the DNA is there. It's just not prevalent, so it won't appear as an attribute in your body or on your skin or whatever because it's
Well, yeah,
recessive. It's
junk.
still there.
Well, I gotta get
They used to
out of
call
here,
it
but
junk DNA, but it's not. It's not junk DNA. It's just DNA that was passed on through your lineage.
junk
Look,
junk
go ahead, go
It's
ahead.
DNA
still there
is
though.
just DNA. It's like lost memory, sort of like it gotta be awakened or something. And like
Well, no, it's how they do. Yeah,
it's
it's how they
basically
do DNA tests.
they should say dormant DNA. It's part of your genetics that if you ain't using it, you sort of lose it, sort of thing. But you can
Well, you don't
reactivate it
lose it.
and
That's what
shit.
I'm saying. That's how
Kind
Look,
of
they
like
can
muscle
tell.
memory.
That's how they can
the
tell
Yeah,
base
you
that,
form,
don't lose
that
it. You
that's
don't
your
lose it
daddy
at all.
or
Right, right.
that this is your granddaddy or your grandpa. That's how
the
they can
base
tell
form of
when they look
genetics,
at your
bro, is gene.
DNA. That base code is
Gene
still in
means
there.
information. The information are light codes. The light codes you receive. Okay, now the largest light source we have in the
Don't
whole.
say the sun.
What
Don't
Hold on,
are you
say
wait.
the
talking
sun.
about?
I'm going there for a
What are you
reason.
talking about?
I'm not on no solar worship shit. Okay, I'm not on no solar worship. But we want to speak facts. We can't speak about the sun without solar worshiping, my nigga. We can't talk
I'm
about.
just saying it ain't
You know what I'm saying? Damn.
okay, okay, go ahead, man. All right.
Because light codes exist, light frequency waves exist. It's real. You know what I'm saying?
All
People want to
right.
try to pass on. Okay, and that has a lot to do with DNA. For example, it's a woman I follow on Facebook. She's in Africa. She always go live when she in Africa. She be going to every country trying to show us like what's going on out there, bro. The apples, nigga, the animals, everything out there is way the cats out there is bigger than out here. The apples, the fruits, the everything is much larger. This will mean my dominant. That don't mean that it's that apple is dominant than this one is better. No, it has more nutrients, it has more light codes, it's receiving more
Not to cut
information.
you off.
That's a
Okay, I
So
lie
see.
let me
because
no,
I
not
see.
because I
Okay,
knew
I see
everybody was
where
gonna
you're
jump in. Oh,
confused.
That's
Okay.
that's
not to
exactly
cut
what
nobody off. Wait,
GMO
Libra
is.
bigger than a
wait.
horse.
Not to cut you off, but to cut you off. Wait, because for everybody jump in. That's what sparked. Because I'm top 10 triple jump in the region before I got injured. Right. I'm from Richmond, Virginia. So there's districts, regionals, states, and nationals. I'm top 10 in a sport in the whole entire region. The number one triple jumper in the world was a skinny, scrawny British white boy. The Asian just broke Usain's Bolt 100-meter spread
Start
because
the start, the
you
start.
know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, that part
Of
because it
course.
wasn't the record, but yeah,
Yeah.
he just broke that right because of how he was training because his stride, like genetically speaking, he knows that look, we Asians are this, we African Americans are this, we Indian Aboriginals are this, and then Europeans are built all right 80-20 that way, right? We're built 80-20 this way. We're lanky. Most majority of us are lanky, tall, and we come in this hue. The majority of Asians are that size, shape, and they come in that hue. All of those traits are already in our coding. But the fact that you're saying that no one can beat you because of the way you look is ignorant.
No, it's not about the way. Look, everything has a color because
Because of what? Because I talk about
the
that spectrum.
color
Yeah, go ahead.
signifies something. Because color is frequency.
Let,
It's
let me
not just a
show you
color.
some, man.
It's signifying something. That's what I'm telling you. And when we go into that
Well, I want to
something,
speak on the code thing you're saying. Because you're saying light code because we call DNA a code. DNA is not an actual code. It just
it's
resembles a
information.
code.
It's an
Yo,
information download. Yeah, that's
so
what
It
I
Okay,
just
call
so
it.
it's
Sound like
not
some
a
Charlie
code.
Brown
Like because
shit.
you're
yeah,
like
he
light code and then DNA because it's a code.
we
It's
we
not
we
comparable.
can we gonna have to come back to this topic though, man, because I do want to go this deep with the bill as far as the science with the DNA because I want to hear Dominique go back to like is it unnatural or natural? I think he struggled though. Salutes to my brother to prove that it's unnatural, man. When everything I've been pulling up is proving that nature don't mind it at all. In fact, is actually so natural that they say opposites attract.
Well, I did want to. What does he mean when he say unnatural? Does he mean design?
Yes, that's what he means by design. That if
Because I mean, that's
children
the
in the
only other
womb,
thing that means from unnatural, right? Is design, right?
That's correct. In evolution, the theory of evolution is a theory. That means it's an opinion. In Darwinism,
That's not what it means.
but look,
It's a scientific
but Darwinism, what we consider Darwinism was majority published by his brother. And his brother,
wait, hold
imagine
on.
a family
What do you
member
think?
speaking
Hold
about
on.
what you did
What
your
do you think
research on.
Darwinism is? What do you think
Darwinism,
Darwin? No, tell me what you think Darwin discovered.
Well, no, we ain't
no, I'm
got
not gonna do that
time
right now.
for it,
I'm
but
not gonna
guess
do that
what we're
right
gonna
now.
do?
I just want to
Hold on,
know his
no,
understanding.
look.
I'm just trying to get his understanding. It's okay. I
No, brother,
understand
I
it's off
gotta
topic.
go and look.
It's off topic. I got you.
Listen,
I got you, bro.
relax, listen. I'm gonna try to come back tonight. I think I will probably be back tonight. I just gotta handle some stuff, but I'm just, that's why I gotta get up out of here. But I want to entertain this. Don't trip. But salutes
I had
to
a quick
y'all,
question,
man.
bro,
Peace.
Sanchez. Bro, Sanchez, I had a quick question. I was wondering when was you gonna get back on Dr. Umar's neck, bro? Because I loved it.
Oh yeah, I am. You already know it, man. It's coming.
Hell
Part
yeah,
2
man.
coming.
I loved
on
it.
that.
And I actually had a proposal, bro. I got a few hundred bands, bro, and I want to go purchase some land over there so we can prove a point.
Hey,
So,
remember what I said in the video? How if
yeah.
somebody else beat them to it, how to make them look.
Yep. And you should stream right from
bro,
over there,
and how the
and
nigga
we get it
rejected
popping, bro.
help. Stop.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
niggas over there. He's like,
So
nah,
I'm
nah.
gonna hit your email, bro, Sanchez. We'll talk, bro.
Okay, man, for sure, Demetrius. Appreciate that, my
Yep.
brother. Yeah,
No
we're gonna
problem, bro.
Hey, y'all brothers and sisters, be safe. Young Q, man, I wish you would have hopped on earlier, man. But I'm gonna come back.
I was
I'm
caught
coming
up.
back. Yeah, Miss
It's all good.
Barbados,
Say when you
salute.
come back, just let me know, folks.
For sure, man. I will do that,
Peace.
man. I'm coming back now. Hey, son,
Salute
man.
to you, bro, Sanchez, and I appreciate you.
Thanks,
having
brother
me, bro.
Sanchez. And
Thank
Peace
you.
to the rest
when
of
you
the
come
squad and the
back,
sisters.
Peace to you too, man.
But brother Sanchez, when you come back, I can think about the question more about, is it hurting people, their relationships and stuff, and not unless you're going to do something different.
It's just gonna be the hump day joint.
Okay, the fight.
So we can bring up all that shit. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Peace
All
and
right, well,
love to
thanks.
y'all.
But I'll really get back with you, bro, Sanchez, man. I appreciate you, man, for having me.
No doubt, man. Salute citizen, man. I see y'all in a few if y'all be available, man. Y'all be safe. Salute.
Yes, sir. Peace.
All right.
Bro.
Sure. Speaking of Umar, but yeah, this the page I'm looking for. Yeah, salutes to y'all, man. I got to get up out of here, and I will make it back. You know what I'm saying? So I don't. My phone ain't alert me to any donations, but let me just check anyway. Just respect, salutes to. Oh yeah, Demetrius Gore and Nathaniel Hill. Salutes to you, brothers, for the donations and for joining the stream. I'm a